Hello everyone, this is Sunayan from Heat.exe. Now I'm going to show you how to generate file or directory fragments using Heat.exe in a Wix project. Now I am going to introduce myself. I am a senior software engineer in Bangalore, in an IT organization in Bangalore, and I have been working in SharePoint and .NET technologies for around 5 years. And I have been using this tool for a couple of days right now, and this tool has been a very good help for me, as this is very easy to generate and this is very useful. Now in Wix project I am going to show you the steps how to create a MSI, that is installation package, in using a Wix project, basically a Wix project template in Visual Studio. Now if I go to start my Visual Studio, let Visual Studio open. I am using Visual Studio Ultimate 2012. Now here I am clicking new project. And you can see this template is available in the templates, in the template, under the templates in the Windows. It's called Windows Installer XML, and you can see the setup project, merge module project, setup library project, bootstrapper project, and other project templates are available. But here I'm going to show you how to create a setup project. Now if I going to click on a setup project, give it a valid name like test setup project and click OK. Now this Wix project will be created for us. Now I am going to show you how to create the fragments using Wix project. You can see here a Wix project are basically a combination of product.wxs and the references. So you can see this product.wxs, which is basically an XML file, is containing the fragments. You can see the fragments over there. This WXS file is consisting of fragments. This fragments defines what are the elements that is going to be incorporated in your Wix project or your setup MSI. Now as you can see, this fragments, as I have told you, this fragments is going to configure your MSI, where it's going to be installed and how it's going to be how you are going to install it. So all the installation instructions you have to define it into the fragments. So first of all, I am not going to tell you that how to create this fragments. If you are using Wix, you should have known that. So I am going to tell you how to use Heat.exe and create the fragments and create a successful Wix project. Now I am going to show you a folder in my C drive that is called the MCSE folder, which contains a couple of many files actually that I am going to generate the MSI for. So my MSI is basically going to have the MCSE folder and all its components. So I am going to start with the Wix project. First of all, I am going to do one thing. First I'll build this. Build solution. The build solution, if you see the product or manufacturer attribute value cannot be an empty string, value not figure, simply remove the entire attribute. So if you go this manufacturer, you can go like it like home. Now if you build this build solution, you can see that the build is happening and build is succeeded. Now what you have to do, you can also see there is a IC validation error, not error, warning. You can see an IC validation. So first I'm going to configure my Wix project. I'm going to right click over my Wix project and go to properties. Here I am going to give the name of the MSI that will be built, and I'll have to give in the build we can define preprocessor variables and many other things. Here I'll be mostly defining the output path. Let the output path be on my computer E drive. Let me check whether it's carrying. Let output path be on E drive. Now there is a thing is called build event. I'm going to talk about that later. Now there is a tool settings. You can see there is a checkbox containing suppress IC validation. I'm going to check this because this option is going to suppress the IC validation for us. Now I'm going to save this. Right click, save selected items, close. Now if I build, I'm not going to see that the IC validation error is appearing. Now in this media template section, I'm going to use embed cap equal to yes. That will define our package. Now if I going to build it, now if I go into E drive, I will be able to see that my test setup MSI is ready for deployment. But it is not that easy, is it? So I've already told you that I'll be using Wix Heat.exe to generate the fragments. Basically in this section, in this fragment section, you will have to incorporate all the XML elements that is will be defining your components. So what I will be doing, I will be creating an environment variable first. I am going to run and type sysdm.cpl. That is going to open my system properties window, and I am going to advance. Here I am going to define the environment variables. Click on environment variables. There is a section called user variables and system variables. Now I am going to click on new system variable. Now let's give a name of test setup underscore publish in this location, and the variable name I am going to give the location of the folder that I am going to incorporate. So E drive MCFE. So I have created a environment variable and I have given it a name. So my environment variable creation is done. If I want to check my environment variable, I can go and check my test setup publish is created. Now what I have to do to use this test setup environment variable, I will have to close this solution. Let's close this solution. Okay. Now reopen the solution again using Visual Studio. Now our Wix project has been created. You can see now it's ready to use. Now we are going to create the inside XML components of the fragment node. So I am going to properties and I am going to write some code into our pre-built event. Now to copy the code that we need to paste here, what we'll have to do, you have to go to my blog that is takehelpwordpress.com, and take this and click on this blog post generating file directory fragments using Heat.exe. And I will suggest you to copy this entire code into a notepad. I am going to describe you how this Heat.exe is responsible for creating the directory fragments. Now let's check the font. Actually, let's make it Arial so that it will be easier to understand. Okay. Now see, this Heat.exe is using this directory argument. So in this directory you can see this. Here we will place our environment variable. So I'm going to system.cpl advanced environment variable test setup underscore publish. I'm copying this variable name and pasting. Now CG will be our component group name. Let's give the same name or use any different name whatsoever you want to. I am giving the same name. Don't take it like it is the environment variable name you should have to give. You can give any other to like the environment for publish or test setup underscore CG underscore test setup, whatever you want to give. CG underscore test setup. So this will be the command line, and here we will be deleting this section. It is not required in our case. So I am deleting this section. Let it be like this, and let the WXS, there will be one WXS created for us. We will be using that WXS for our future use. So this is all about our pre-built command line. So I am copying this line and pasting this into here. You can see it, the command line, how it is done. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to build the project again. Now see, build succeeded. Now if I going to add existing item, then I will see that files fragment.wxs is generated. Whoa! Then we will be using this file fragment.wxs. Let's add this. Now you can see this file fragment.wxs is generated by Heat.exe, and everything is done by Heat.exe itself. Now what we will be doing, we will be replacing and making some modification into this fragments. First of all, do one thing, copy the two fragments that got generated from files fragment to what is this? Wait, some operation is going on, I think. Okay, it's done. So copy this into this under this fragment. So this fragment will be paste here. Okay, then okay, our initial work, our main work is done. Now this files fragment.wxs is not required anymore, so I am excluding it from the project. So now this is the time to change some major modification, to make some major modification in the WXS file. As you know, this product.wxs file is going to be the main WXS file that is going to be incorporated. Now I'm telling you, like in the fragment section, in the target directory section, there is this, and make it to install folder. Okay, now in the same WXS, in the component group section, give a space and choose the directory and give the same install folder over there. So the two directory fragments got created. But if you check carefully, this is source dir. What do I have to do? I have to give the location over there. So what is our location? Our location is E drive MCSE. So this will be our location. So what I will do, I will do just Control H, replace Control V with this source directory slash Control V. There will be slash. Now I am going to replace all 436 occurrences replace. You can easily create a you can easily create a WXI file and use this path to include it as a variable. You can change it for later use. So this is all the things that we require to do. Now, as for the next item, I am going to make some major modification into this. So I am going to tell you how to tell that where it will be installed, where the package will be installed. So what I'll have to do, first of all, I'll have to utilize two DLLs, that is called Wix UI extension and Wix UI util extensions. This two DLLs I am going to add, and I am going to add the references over there. Now I have copied some. Now this section I am not going to require anymore because our main sections has been incorporated into this. Now here will be this fragment will be telling us how will we be installing. Now I have created one base file where I will be copying this. So I am copying this total base file from here to here and pasting. Now check this. The fragment remains the same. Now property drive equal to root drive, I am giving exclamation cd data E drive. That means it will be going to be installed in the E drive. The default option will be coming to E drive. Now this is the property. Now the target directory will be the program files. So the name of the target directory will be program files, and the top level folder will be naming as top level folder. You can give space if you want to, and the main folder will be named as main folder, and this will be our component ID. Now here these two lines are very important. This will be defining your UI. So this will be the main thing. Now here if you see, check this component group reference ID, you will have to change to the component group reference ID that you are using. In this case cg_test setup. You paste it here. Now build the solution. Let's see what happens. Well, build started. It's building, still building. Let's hope for the best. So it succeeded. Then I will check in the build location, that is my drive that I have given. See, this is test setup project is created for us and it's ready to use. Now I am going to install it. Just double click the test setup project. This gives us the UI. Next, I accept. Next. Now you see the directory structure that we have created in the Wix project, it is same appearing as in the installation option. This is the top level folder, this is the main folder, then it is coming over here. So here I will be doing next and install. Taking a bit time to install. Okay, as you can see, it's got installed. So if you go to E drive, program files, top level folder, main folder, you can see all the files that were present in there. So our Wix project creation is successful, and our Heat.exe has been a great help for us. By the way, don't forget to remove this because this is not required anymore. It will still create the WXS file in that location. So just save it, Ctrl S, and build again. Well succeeded. So here we go. This is Sunan from Tech Help Go. Let me know your responses and your feedback on this video tutorial. Thanks for watching.